So this is a Swift Charisma 620, going to take you around the caravan and show you how it operates. The hitch up procedure, jockey wheel and handbrake is all stuff we'll go through in person here on site. In the front locker, you've got your gas bottle, as you can see, with your gas valve on top that opens and shuts off the gas flow from the bottle. And up on the bulkhead, you actually have the gas regulator with another yellow gas shut-off valve. You don't need to use a yellow gas shut-off valve if you don't want to, but you will need to when you're travelling. Make sure the gas bottle is off on the front of the van. On each side of the van at the front, you have your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan while it's in use. So you'd never ever lift the caravan with these legs. They are just there to be put down on the floor to stabilise it rather than lift the van. You have your water pump connection coming into the side of the van. So you have your blue connection just here. Pull back this trigger and push it into the side of the van and lock it in place. Then you have your pump that drops down, or the pickup pipe that drops down in the acque roll itself. In the side of the van here, you have your mains power lead, as you can see, coming into the side of the van. And you also have your 110 amp leisure battery in place, which powers the motor movers on board the van, which in turn will demonstrate to you in person here on site. You've got two fridge vents on the side of the van. These fridge vents are there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit. And behind one of these is also a gas flue, so we never advise covering these up, especially when the caravan is in use and the fridge is on. The wheel nuts will be torqued before the caravan leaves site, and we'll do that in front of you to the correct manufacturer setting or spec, so you know it has been done correctly. Further back, where you see this white tank at the minute, you'd normally have your acque roll sat there, and your two grey pipes would go in the larger circles on the outside just here. And that would be the fresh water that goes in the front, will come out here from the sink and showers on board, the two sinks, and the shower on board the van. At the rear of the van on this side, you have your toilet flush tank, so you'd open this up, and you put 3.5 litres of water in here, and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. In the bottom, you have your toilet waste cassette. So in there, you'd actually see a grey tank with a yellow handle on the bottom. You'd pull that yellow handle up to release the cassette from underneath the van. On the back of the cassette, you'll see a yellow button. That yellow button is there to take the pressure out of the toilet waste cassette when you're tipping the waste away. And there's a turnout neck on top, which you turn out 90 degrees to allow you to tip the waste away through it. And before you use the waste cassette, you'd put in 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid. At the rear of the caravan, on either side, you can see the wind down legs. They're not down at the moment because the van's in our workshop, but normally when the van's outside or set up, you'd have both of these legs down to stabilise the caravan on site. Let me go around to the opposite side of the van now and show you what we've got on the opposite side. So again, you've got your wind down leg at the front left hand side of the van. Your wheels, which again, obviously we'll talk about, that's why you're here on site. And then the storage locker for underneath the French style bed at the rear of the caravan. As I said, the caravan's still in our workshop at the moment, having its last bits and pieces done to it. So you'll have to bear with me with some of the bits around inside the van, like tools, etc. So the first thing we do is, when we come inside the van, is fill the water system. So below the seat on the far right hand side, you're going to see the yellow drain down valve. Now that yellow drain down valve needs to be parallel with the floor before you fill the water system up. When that valve is pointing upright towards the bottom of the seat, it'll actually drain all the water from out of the onboard water, or the hot water tank, and onto the floor underneath the caravan. And there's a very specific way to fill these vans depending on how you want to use them, because on the opposite side of the van, you have an internal water tank which is underneath the floor of the van. And in here, you'll take this cap off. It'll fill from the system, which I'll show you in a moment. But in the bottom of here, just down in the bottom here, you'll actually see there is a red drain plug. To drain that tank down, you'd pull that red bung out, and it'll actually allow you to drain the water system down. Obviously, I'm not going to do that while it's in the workshop. In the workshop, I don't think our engineers would be too happy with the damp floor. So to fill the water system, like I said, the yellow valve on that side needs to be done up. You need to make sure the bung's in on the internal water tank. Then to fill the tank from the external supply, so that is the on-board tank, you'd need to make sure the valves underneath the seat or underneath the front cabinet The one here at the back is turned to the right hand side, or to the left hand side, sorry, on this particular van. So pointing towards the left hand side of the van, which has got the black tap on it. And then the white tap would need to be pointing to the right hand side as it is now. To run the taps from the external supply, so basically so you're running from the ACK roll, that is the position you need it to be in here, sorry. The valve here, like I said, needs to be in that position, as well as the drain valve to run from the external supply also. To run taps from the internal tank, once that onboard tank is filled, you'd need to make sure that the black valve is pointing towards the front of the caravan, and then the white drain down valve is also pointing towards the front of the caravan. At that point, like I said, you'll be able to run the taps from the internal water supply on the caravan. Once you've done that and you've got the control panel turned on by the door, which you very simply do by pressing the button here in the top right hand corner, and the battery one here, which allows you to run from the 12-volt system on board the caravan. If you're towing down the road, you'd have to turn the one on the left hand side here to allow you to run from the power supply from the car as you're towing down the road. So once you've got the power turned on inside the caravan through here, you can press the water pump button with all of the taps in the open position. So we go around and open all the taps up on the hot side to start bleeding the water system. Now when that water system is completely full, you'll have water running out of every tap continuously on the caravan. Once you've got it to that point, you can actually start thinking about warming the water on board the van. I'm just going to turn the pump off for now, so I don't need to fill the system completely up to demonstrate how it's working. So on the far side of the van, on the right hand side, just here, so on the heater side, sorry, as you can see, to operate the gas water heating, you have this top dial. Now this top dial here, it's very simple to do. As long as you've got the gas turned on, you spin the grey outer fitment here, and the green light will appear to let you know the gas system has ignited. If it fails to ignite for any reason, a red light will appear, which it may well do in a moment. I'm not sure if the gas is turned on at the moment. But essentially, if it failed to ignite, the red light would come on, as it has now, to let you know it has failed to ignite. If the green light stays lit, then you can control the temperature of the water heater between 30 and 70 degrees on this dial at the top here. To control the water temperature on electric, again, very simple to do. You've got a control panel underneath the seat on the right hand side of the van at the front. And you'll very simply press the middle switch here down, which will allow the water heater to kick in. The other two switches you've got here is the battery charger and the space heater for the caravan, so you'd make sure these two are always on. But the middle one you'd only turn on when you've got water in the system and you want to warm it on electric. To warm the caravan on electric, as in the heating system, you can do that with this dial here that says Ultra Heat. And what you do is you'd select the power supply you have coming into the caravan down the side here, so whether that be 500, 1000 or 2000 watts. You'd select the relevant power source, then you control the heat of the heater on the dial in the centre here. The only way you'll know what heat source the amount of power you've got coming into the caravan is by asking the caravan site you are on. To use the heater on gas, very simple to do again. You've got the dial here on top of the heater. You'll spin that round to between the 10 and 9 position. Hold down the gas valve, and once it ignites on gas, you'll have a pilot light in this window down the front of the heater. If that pilot light stays lit, then you, after 5 to 10 seconds, slowly release the gas valve, then control the temperature of the heater on the dial on top. Now, whether you're using gas or electric, you can use the blown air option on board the van. You have your fan speed on top. The dot in the centre here indicates the heat is going to come out the front of the heater. Continuous blown air on this wave symbol just here on the left hand side. And on the right hand side you have this A, which is the ambient temperature of the caravan. So essentially it'll cut in and out with the thermostat on board the van, and that is for the blown air heating. The fridge system is very simple to use on board the caravan. You've got the power switch on the front here to turn it on and off. You've then got the button to control which power source you're using. The fridge will self-ignite on gas and the pilot light is down the bottom here. If it starts flashing and comes up with an error code 9, it means it has failed to ignite. 240 volt, as long as you're connected to 240 volt, will allow you to use it from the main source. And if you're towing the van down the road, you'll be able to use 12 volt from the car you are towing with at the front of the van, but you would need to press the 12 volt button on the end here first, so to the car position just here, to allow you to use the 12 volt from the 12 volt system on the car. To control the temperature of the fridge, you'll use the button on the right hand side, and you'll select the relevant temperature you want it to be. The last thing we're going to go through on this particular caravan is the toilet system in the rear of the van. I'm just going to turn the lights on as we go in. There we go. You will notice the van hasn't been cleaned yet. Like I said, it is still in our workshop at the moment. You've got an electric flush on the toilet system. You've got a full indicator light to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is full underneath the caravan, which will illuminate red when it is. And at the bottom of the toilet, you have a toilet waste flap just here, which you push across to allow the toilet waste cassette to open up. The toilet seat does turn for your convenience, so you can turn it, angle it, whichever way you wish. However, when you are emptying the waste cassette, it needs to point straight across towards the shower because it has two locking tabs in place. So when the toilet's turned, essentially, it won't allow you to remove that cassette from underneath the van. And that is also the same if you've got the grey waste flap open. So that is the Swift Charisma 620. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please do make a note of them and ask while you're here on site collecting the caravan. Or if you have a problem once you have got the caravan on site, please do give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'd be more than happy to help. Thank you for your business and we look forward to seeing you here on site for your handover. Thank you for now and bye-bye.